Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel for another portfolio update. Before we get started, I do want to touch on a previous holding I used to own, and that's Algonquin Power, ticker symbol AQN. They just announced another 40% dividend cut today, and a year prior they had a previous dividend cut. I made a video about 11 months ago saying why I sold this position, as I think there are some lessons that could be learned. Here's a clip from it explaining why I sold, and I'll have a link to that video below if you want to give that a watch. I've kind of, lost my faith in the company. I don't really want to own a utility company that is struggling and has a really bad balance sheet at the moment. And even the payout ratio as it is right now is extremely high. So even though they cut their dividend recently, I think it is possible that if they don't manage their funds and execute perfectly, we could actually face another dividend cut again. So I don't even view it as a safe dividend stock either. And if a company cuts their dividend once, there's no reason they can't do it again. Going forward, if a company cuts its dividend, I'm going to be selling the holding immediately. A company that cuts a dividend once can do it again and again. It's like having a partner that is unfaithful and cheats on you and promises never to do it again. But once that trust is broken, it's time to cut ties and move on with your life.
You cheated on me? When I specifically asked you not to?
No, I didn't.
I redeployed the money from the sale of AQN into Brookfield Corporation, which was a wise decision. My reasoning at the time was AQN was promising a 47% earnings per share growth, and Brookfield was promising 15 to 20%. It was a no-brainer move to sell my loser and put it into a winner, and the results since that sale are very apparent. I sold AQN at around $10 per share. It now sits around $7.42, so massive drop there. Meanwhile, my BN purchase went from $42 per share to $61 per share, which isn't a surprise because Brookfield has been performing well and AQN has been performing poorly, and I think that that's going to continue well into the future. I'll start with a sell, and that's of Costco. I made a nearly 60% gain on my sale, as my average was $508 and I sold Costco at $802. I really wanted to buy more Amazon as it tanked heavily, and I think it's extremely undervalued. Over the long term, I believe at its current valuation, Amazon will outperform Costco. I still have no issues with Costco as a company, and I will put it on a watch list. If it hits around a 35 to 40 PE ratio, I'd like to re-enter the position. I purchased 2.13 shares of Amazon as they had a very interesting bit of news that TikTok will be making it very easy to link products to users, and without even leaving the app, you can make an Amazon purchase of a product you just watched and showed interest in. It's good business, but also very convenient for the customer. How many times have you seen a cool product on a short form video and wanted to buy it? Now it's easier than ever, and that friction of opening a browser and searching for a product is gone. I bought 0.75 shares of BNS. By reinvesting the dividend, they paid me right back into the company. I got one more share of CNR as it finally hit my buy range of below 160 per share. I managed to get it for $152. I also purchased 0.56 shares of a Granite REIT. I reinvested my monthly dividend HYLD paid me, getting 2 more shares, going up to 247. And Microsoft announced a partnership with Palantir to deploy their services using Azure. So this will be a great growth driver for Palantir's government business, which is growing quite nicely. And the last earnings report was very strong. The market is showing them some love, and they shot up to over $30 per share. I managed to buy one share for around $23 during the huge market sell-off, and TD paid me a dividend, which I reinvested right back into the company to get 0.47 shares of it. And my last purchase was 0.92 shares of Visa, going up to over 1.7 shares, as I think it's attractively valued, and I would like to build it out to be about 5% of my portfolio and to bring up my US exposure, as I think I'm too heavily invested in the Canadian market at over 60% of my portfolio, and I'd like it to be a 50-50 split between US and Canadian stocks. And if you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss one of my updates. So for the dividends earned, we've earned over $3,109 in dividends since starting the portfolio. Annually, we've increased from $1683.58 annually to $1704.51 annually. The monthly dividends have grown from $140.03 to $142.04. Daily, that's a change from $461 a day to $467 a day. And the days of freedom is how I calculate how many days my yearly portfolio income buys me of basic expenses and food. So we've gone from 2754 to 2788. So trying to get this up to 30 days, which would be basically a month of expenses is covered by the portfolio completely. And then the ultimate goal would be to make that 365 to have all of my base expenses covered by my portfolio. And that would essentially give me the flexibility to cut back on work or just stop going altogether. And then the hourly wage, if my portfolio were to work a 40-hour work week for me, went from 81 cents per hour to 82 cents per hour. So a little bit of a raise there. It's nice to see. And last month in July was our biggest month ever of 225. That eclipses April's total of 202 and January's 187. So we can clearly see some nice little growth in the big months, and even the small months are getting bigger as well. And if we look at the dividends year over year, I've almost hit $1,000 in dividends paid. Last year was 1106. So I should be passing this total fairly soon. So we'll hit $1,000, and we still have over 4 months left in the year. And I'm projected to hit about 1,500. And next year we can definitely do better than that. So there is some nice progress being made in the portfolio since I've started investing. And just because I buy a stock or sell a stock doesn't mean you should do it. Always do your own research, and have a great day, everyone.